So Errol Spence stops Ugas in the 10th round. Errol Spence looked good in this fight. He looked quick, he looked strong, and he looked like, you know, he's got the power. So Errol Spence did a good job in this fight. Ugas is, you know, he's more about the quality of his punches. He's not a high output puncher. And when you've got someone unloading on you and you're not a high output puncher and you're not throwing the counters, it can look like you're being overwhelmed. And it's not good with regards to the judges and the scorecards. So even if you're not getting hurt in there, you've got a fighter that's, you know, just popping the little punches, and I'm not saying you're throwing little punches, but you know, he's popping the little punches, and you're just there at the high guard waiting for the counter, but you're not finding that opportunity, then you're going to be throwing rounds away. And I think Ugas was significantly behind in this fight. There was a moment in this fight where Ugas actually hit Errol Spence with a right hand, and Errol Spence looked a little bit shaken by that punch, and then the follow-up was a right hand, and I believe Spence's mouth guard fell out, and Spence kind of looked down on the ground, like he kind of went like this, and then Ugas hit him with another one, and then his legs literally wobbled and he went flying back into the ropes. And I don't know if he was hurt, but it certainly looked like he was hurt. And apparently the ref said stop. I would have to look at it again to see if that's actually the case. But really, you want to be fighting until the ref like comes in between you, you know? You want to be fighting until the ref comes in between you and says stop, because what if he got knocked out? You know, what if he got knocked out? So that's something that Errol Spence, you know, he apparently came out and said he made a rookie mistake, and he's going to have to look out for that, because obviously, you know, he might have actually been made to pay for that. So the doctor in the 10th round, because of the damage that was sustained by Ugas to the eye, decided to stop the fight. So that's a good win for Errol Spence. It's a good win for Errol Spence. Errol Spence now, you know, the fight I think that needs to happen is Errol Spence versus Terence Crawford. Spence is coming off a good win against Ugas, and Crawford is coming off a good win against Sean Porter. Why not make the fight? If that fight was to happen, I mean, I think Crawford's slightly the favourite in that fight, but it's a good fight nonetheless. You know, Terence Crawford is very versatile and he's very technically sound, whereas Errol Spence Jr. is a physically strong guy who has a high output, and I wouldn't say he's the type of fighter that can break you down. You know, he's a physically strong guy. He punches quite hard, he punches in bunches, and he can break you down. Whereas Terence Crawford, more of a technically sound guy, more of a versatile guy, and he's got power himself. So I want to see Terence Crawford versus Errol Spence. And I would be disappointed if another fight was to be made for either of them other than that fight. So that's the fight I really want to see. I think that fight has been, you know, a fight that's needed to happen for quite a while. And coming off those two wins, I want to see Errol Spence versus Terence Crawford. I think why not make the fight while they're both, you know, relatively good with regards to their prime. I'm not saying they're both in their prime anymore, but while they're operating at the level they're operating at, why not get those two in the ring and make it happen? So Spence beats Ugas. What did you make of the fight? And who do you think would win if Crawford was to face Spence in the next fight? Let me know. Like the video, subscribe to the channel, leave a comment, and I'll see you on the next video.